Actually, speaking of CNN, James, another thing we wanted to talk about is the news yesterday that CNN is shutting down the opinion section of its website, which it seems like it would be a pretty decent source of traffic. Their website is much, much, much more popular than their cable side. Their cable side is putting them in financial difficulty, to say the least, because the ratings have gone down so significantly. What did you make of this?
Obviously, any network isn't particularly promotional about the fact that it is nixing or axing one of its sections. And it was a very muted announcement. Essentially, an opinion editor wrote in an email saying, just a quick note to let you know that unfortunately, CNN has decided to shut down the opinion section. I hope our paths cross elsewhere. So the whole opinion section has now been kiboshed. It's off the site, or it's about to be. And this comes, as you mentioned, at a time where it's hitting 10-year lows in viewership. It's facing layoffs. It's facing cost cutting. But the interesting thing here is just exactly how the right and left reacted. So the left didn't take too much notice of it, but the right, they seem to think that, well, CNN coverage is so infused with opinion anyway that this is actually just basically confirming what already exists, that we don't need an opinion section when our broadcast coverage is already doing that.
You know, the difference though, I will give CNN this. I think the difference between their broadcast version of CNN, the brand, is so different than what's on their website, whether they have an opinion section or not. There are like really good reporters at CNN who are still doing like the actual Lord's work in war zones, just doing good reporting, traditional journalism. And a lot of that goes up on the site, and it's more branded with that typical CNN kind of. Clarissa Ward is a good example of one person that they have left on the broadcast side who does that kind of journalism. So they're in the middle of an identity crisis, and if they want to just come out and admit that they're fully left of center, I think that's what every outlet that actually is left of center should do, and that would go a huge way towards restoring trust in media. But that's just not going to happen unless they suddenly realize they can make a bunch of money by doing that, which I don't know, maybe they could, but this is why I, James, am not a CEO of a media conglomerate, because that would be a disaster.
Given the amount of churn that's going on at the organization, you could be getting a job pretty soon, so hold tight.
The other thing probably worth mentioning is Norah O'Donnell announced that she was leaving the CBS Evening News anchor slot. That's basically like the Walter Cronkite, when a lot of people think of those old trusted newsmen. It looks like CBS, by some reports, might be going to a rotating anchor situation for their nightly news, which is a very, very easy but important change to overlook. Nightly news used to be where Americans sat down and consumed their dose of news media and felt like they were in touch with the world and understood the country and were informed. And the fact that that has gone away technologically is not surprising at all, but it's a real landmark, I think, in American culture. And Norah O'Donnell is probably one of the few people who could pull off that evening news anchor slot in the way that she did. So very interesting development there. Thanks for tuning into the Undercurrents channel. Make sure to subscribe and go to undercurrents.tv, my new favorite website, for even more behind the scenes and premium content. I'll see you back here soon.